Gift giving. Throughout our lives, we learn that God blesses us abundantly. He promises us many gifts in the Bible: a room in the kingdom of heaven, freedom from sin and death, eternal life, much more. But He also gives us promises on earth. And not only that, but He gives us specific promises to each of His children because He knows their hearts and desires. Psalms 139, 1-4. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. And so He knows what's best for us, and He knows that thing that we're hoping for the future that we want so badly, and He knows how best to satisfy our desires, and not just what we want, but what we need. And so a common one I know of His promises is a proper life partner, a spouse. And it can be hard waiting for that delivery, especially when you've been separated from someone you love because it wasn't God's best for you. And it can be easy to get impatient. And we're always reminded, trust in God's timing because it's perfect. But we always tend to ask, why not now? Well, when you think about it like giving a gift, you wouldn't give a car to someone who can't read yet. They wouldn't be able to read the signs or the labels in their car. You have to wait for the receiver to be ready. One, because you wouldn't want them to go and get themselves lost or hurt. And two, so they can properly enjoy their gift. If they're not ready, they could wreck or destroy the car. And if we are lust-driven or still partially of the world, we could become lost again, putting God's gift over Him and leaving Him out of our lives and going off of His path for us and therefore becoming lost. And we could hurt the other person because we don't fully know how to love yet, since we aren't fully planted in God who is love. We could wreck the gift God perfectly made for us, and when it comes to relationships, when you mess up big time, it can be harder to remove the stain of the pain that you caused. You have to be ready to receive the gift. But not only that, you are not just receiving it, but you are a gift being given to someone else. You are God's best for someone else, but not yet. God still has to work on you and prepare you for that person. You wouldn't give a car which isn't fully manufactured as a gift unless that person fixes cars. But in this case, God is the only one who can fix this type of car. So it must be given when it's ready. And going back to the Psalms quote I mentioned, He knows the deepest wounds, the deepest flaws in us, and how to improve that and turn it into something better so that we can truly be the one He wants us to be. And so I find it easier to wait when viewing it this way because I want the person God has for me to receive God's best too. I don't want my impatience to get in the way of God turning me into His best for them. All of God's children, including that person, deserve His best, but only because we are His children and He wants to give it to us. This makes me eager to let God take His time working on me so I can truly be the best version of myself for God and that person. But how can we be aware of how to be the best version of ourselves when we already seem to have a close relationship with God? I mean, I go to church, I pray, I listen to podcasts, but it's not just that, it's about our character and the deepest parts of things we need to improve on. And when reading the story about Abigail, David, and Nabal, you can see the differences of people, of Nabal and Abigail, the differences between foolishness and humility. And so that's what I'm going to dive into in the next video, which is character and the beauty of character and how important it really is.